Yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Because he came up to after a while of talking then through Skype.
Yes.
With Gadi, with me. I was the person who was between them. And he came up with Kol HaTor to teach with the book of Midrash Shlomo, what he found. And the few meetings that we got through Skype, he explained a lot, and he sent us a few tapes.
What is the Midrash Shlomo?
As far as I understand, he gives in fact from Rosh Hashanah, coming on Rosh Hashanah, a weekly Torah commentary on the weekly Parsha from Midrash Shlomo as an more an explanation on Kol HaTor, combined.
So who wrote the Midrash Shlomo?
I don't know.
It's like ancient.
It's a very ancient.
I've not heard of it. What does it speak about?
About the Ger to Shav and a few other terms that he used. And but he talks also about, and that I never heard that before, but with Kol HaTor, and I think with Midrash Shlomo, he
When
talks
you speak about Kol HaTor, you're talking about the organization or the Sefer?
not the organization, the book.
The book of the Gaon of Vilna?
Yes. And I find it from, I don't remember how you call it, organization, Yefis, Nefes, who gave it on the internet, in English translation. And I find it very beautiful to read it. So, and I think the people who visit my website also. So, yeah, what can I say? He tried to explain then also. It is also for when he teaches, with the Torah of Shem comes out of it. And that brings the identification to the lost tribes. When they study it good, then they find themselves, or how to say that, who they are. And I find it beautiful to hear. So I'm looking forward when he starts. He starts a little bit now, but he starts in Rosh Hashanah.
Rabbi Katz?
Yes.
To teach on a regular basis to you personally, or to Gary, or to other people?
No, to Bet Yaakov.
Bet Yaakov being Gary's organization? And
yes.
How many people are involved there?
Yeah. An enormous amount, but I don't know how much. It was a few months back, 500, but it is growing very fast. And
which part of India are they in?
All over India, in Hyderabad, in New Delhi.
So had they been inside the Indian caste system, or were they out of it?
That I really couldn't follow. I don't know if they are just outside of it or still in it.
There some of the Bnei Menashe in India had been among the most despised and lowly in the eyes of the Hindus.
Yes.
But it's very amazing.
But we start probably next week to make members, so that people can become a member.
No, but you've visited them in India, have you?
Yes, 2 times now.
Twice in India. How long ago was your last visit?
Last visit was 1 month.
When was it?
3 months back.
It must have been shortly before we first met, or was it after we first met?
Before.
Before. Because I then went away to England. I was away for almost 5 weeks, and I've just been coming back trying to deal with... So I've had correspondence with Gadi over the email.
I hear it.
So I understand that most of the people that are very poor,
Yes.
are there any people who have any financial substance?
I don't think so, or not
What
much.
does Gadi do for a living?
He has a good job. He does something in, he delve up computer software for the stock market.
So where is he located?
In Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Well, if he's in software and computers in the stock market, then it should be reasonable for the moment. India is, depending on who, certainly emerging as one of the leaders of the world, and also having a very developing relationship with the state of Israel.
Yes, I hear something.
Although I don't suppose the state of Israel very much wants to have thousands of 10 tribe people coming in from India to Israel at the moment. Maybe they do, I don't know. Don't think they quite yet understand the implications of all of this. So you don't work with the organization Kolator?
No.
Why not?
I got contact with Ovatja, who works for Rabbi Feld. And I didn't like it so much.
What was that?
I don't know his approach to me, where we talked about this, but I don't like to say so much about it. But, I really didn't like it
Did he try to
because
evangelize you or de-evangelize you?
I think he was more evangelist than I. So, but yeah.
It's a very, very difficult world to deal with, the world of the Ephraim and the 10 tribes, because there's just people are coming from so many places
And backgrounds.
yes, I mean, my policy is to try to offer a Torah discriminately to everybody, and each one will have to do with it what he wants. I mean, I can't take responsibility for this one's idolatry or that one's idolatry, but I mean...
No, but in our talking with, and that is something new, with Rabbi Katz, Gadi put on his website that they denounce Jesus, the Constantine Jesus, and denounce Avodah Zarah, and a few more terms. I think that brings an opening for discussion in a positive way. But you don't have to let's say that, but it's not here. His declaration is: we renounce Constantine Jesus on every level, and being in Ger Tushav that has renounced Avodah Zarah, we are seeking to learn the 7 laws and continue would be to perfect this level and climb deeper into Ger Tushav status. To be, another part, to be like a Nochri, learning Torah compared to the high priest, as in Talmud Bava Kama, 38.
Well, that's okay. I mean, the 10 tribes ultimately will have to come to this 613 mitzvot, but you've got to let the people do it little by little. I mean, that was a fundamental concept of Rabbi Nachman's Chassidut. That if somebody comes to repent, you don't tell him you have to be like the high priest tomorrow morning. He goes, you know, step by step, little by little. It's much easier to, when I was at the beginning of my path, when I was age 25, if somebody told me that I had to do all the 613 mitzvahs, I'd run away completely. I wanted to break it down into simplicity. We have in the Talmud itself, they say that each of the great leaders reduced the Torah to fewer and fewer principles until Habakkuk reduced it to one principle. Tzaddik be'emunato yichyeh. The righteous will live through his faith. And it's good to make it simple. I mean, 7 is easier than 613, isn't it? I mean, where are we? You know, everybody else couldn't live in Mea Shearim.
No, but yeah. We advise them then to read.
We what?
We advise them to read together with the Jews the weekly Torah
I think it's
portion.
very valuable, as it should be. You know, those, as it was in the temple times. There were in Israel, everywhere there were Romans and Greeks and Egyptians and all over the place. And what did they do every Saturday? I mean, they just, like, some of them went into the synagogues and listened to what was going on. In the time of the Second Temple, from what I understand, there was a lot of outreach to not Jewish people.
Yes, but I think Rabbi David Katz also, it went wrong.
Oh, clearly it did.
And,
That would seem to be why the followers of Yeshua made so much progress, because at the time, let's say, the early years of the first century, with the school of Shammai particularly, there was colossal antagonism to non-Jewish people, and there came in this terrible schism, firstly between the Talmid Chacham and the Am Haaretz, then between the Jews and the Kutim, the Samaritans, and so on. And it did go terribly wrong. I mean, they just like tied themselves up in knots with chumras and made it impossible for anybody to come to the Torah if they were not, you know, with a full Jewish pedigree.
yeah, I don't know, but I hear from in Kol Torah when I read, but I'm not an expert, but about Messiah ben Yosef, there comes a desire to do Torah. So and one of the Pasukim that we read is not to make an image from what is above and under. And I think they did it with Yeshua.
Well, clearly they did.
So when you want to do Torah, then you don't make an image.
Well, that's been a huge problem. I mean, that's been the problem of Western civilization, that since Constantine and that generation, they allowed images, and that was the end of any kind of like Torah element in that religion. It just went completely off.
But I received, or I find, a tape from the Pope that we have now in Rome, who is praying to Jesus Christ, son of Lucifer.
Really?
And then really the text. So it started.
When the previous one was here about 10, 11 years ago, they had a huge open mass, I think around Tiberias, and they had the inverted crosses there everywhere, which is like a satanic symbol. Those guys, I mean, they're completely beyond. I mean,
But nowadays that I put it history of that day on from YouTube on my website. Yeah, and 99% of the what you call Christians, they didn't know that.
well, they wouldn't. I mean, he looks, you know, with his nice white robes and fatherly face. Anybody would think he's like a loving, sweet-minded individual. But the Talmud says that a person, an old person, particularly one who has no children, should not be in any position of government or influence over the people. He can't be a member of the Sanhedrin because he doesn't have compassion for the people. I mean, it's a very, very sinister organization, but what have you and I to do with that? Do you have anything to do with that?
No, but I told you the former visit, I was a lost Jew. My mother is a Jew, or was a Jew.
Were you brought up in the Roman Catholic Church?
Yes.
I mean, that happened across Europe, didn't you? Brought in Holland?
I come from Holland.
Well, I mean, what could people do before the Germans coming and they gave their children to other homes or whatever, all kinds of reasons. I mean, I'm personally familiar with I don't know, dozens of stories of people whose Jewish parents or grandparents 2 or 3 generations ago just chose to go into the church. It was a very obvious and sad fact of life. What could they do?
But when Hashem probably, he put so much desire in my heart to be in Israel and to be in Jew.
The Neshama is striving to come home, isn't it? The Neshama wants to come home.
So when I decided to go to Israel, I really got the feeling I come home and I didn't know anything. I'm not so high school educated. I have high school, but I went to the yeshiva and I learned so much and I only loved it. And I started to understand from
So practically, where are we going now forward?
Now the whole point is, the Guardian is has very much gratitude for what you advised him, and he used it to organize his financial system, or how you call it. And the start is already with next week, when we start to ask the members on the website. And we have a wish, and that is, can we have a straight link to your website?
When
For, how to say that? On my website,
you want me to link to your site?
yes, on the left side I have I call it a menu, and I like to put a title like you have one part on your website, there's only Universal Torah, and etc. That I give it a title, and then when they click on it, that they have the whole page where they can go to,
Yes, one.
from your page. And you have somewhere else, but now I don't remember the name of the course. You have a course on your website.
Audio or
Yeah, this Sefer Yetzirah is in there.
I have a course on Earth and Environment.
I think, yeah, that is.
Yes, that comes if you on the left-hand navigation of the site. There's a link down the bottom, Earth and Environment, with a course on nature and the Torah. And I did mention in the Sefer Yetzirah, because I have a different course which is all audio. I have I don't know, about 48 hours of shiurim on the Kabbalistic text Sha'arei Orah. That's something. It's called the Kabbalah code of the Torah, but that's not what you're referring to. I have a course.
I didn't saw it, because I'm really interested to see it.
It's all audio. It's 48 hours of me translating this sefer into English, a running translation.
Oh. How do you call it? Because I don't recognize it.
On the site, it's called the Kabbalah code of the Torah. If the way to find it is if you follow the link Kabbalah, or there is a link which is the MP3 library, and that is where all of there are links to every single tape in that series. It's the whole book. It's a very famous Kabbalistic text, Sha'arei Orah, which in my opinion is the most important introductory work to the Kabbalistic interpretation of the Torah. It's arranged according to the 10 Sfirot, 10 chapters, lengthy chapters, and he goes step by step up the ladder of the Sfirot, explaining each Sfirah, what are the code terms in the scriptures for that concept.
You started then to explain it from the beginning.
Yes, it's the whole.
The people has really a start. Who
Because-
don't know anything about it and they start to learn.
Well,
about,
somebody would have to
goats.
have some interest in the Bible, because it will be for people that have some basic knowledge of the Bible and that there is a God, and but I try to make it as universal as possible so it can be understood by anybody who has some intelligence, can understand the English language.
Yeah.
I would say it's much. It's a very appealing and very interesting sefer. I mean, just gives you so much insight into what the stories of the Torah mean.
Oh, outside that I like it also for myself to see it because
The book is actually translated into English. I'm not sure how easy it is to get it today, but it is available. This book
that I have.
that you have, well, that's the book. That's the same book.
But you talk about this?
Yes, my book is on audio. What this book is in print.
Oh, I like it.
My thing is a class is explaining each word. You know, I go along translate because I don't like referring people to this book because I don't think it was written in an orthodox spirit.
I said I don't know.
Well, but I mean, look, for people, that's besides the point. I wanted to provide a resource that people would have the audio with the whole running translation of the book.
I read it and I liked it very much. But may I then also connect to that?
Yes. Anything on the side, you're welcome to connect to.
Because, yeah.
Yes, my site is intended to, as I said to you, to provide information for anybody who wants it, whether they are Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, I don't mind. I'm not going to engage myself in defining as the person, B'nai Noach, Ger Toshav, it's of no interest in me. My interest is to help people to serve God, that's all. And if they get the information from me, I'd rather than getting it from the Vatican website on Constantinian Christianity.
No, but I really believe there is an enormous, how you call it, hunger to learn Torah. And many come to the conclusion we only can find it by the Jewish rabbis. So,
my own work right now, I'm working full time to completely upgrade my website and operations. I'm working with a site builder and designer at the moment to do a whole new entrance to the website to make it much easier to find the information and connect to classes, films, audio, MP3s and so on. And I'm also trying to develop a way of easily broadcasting classes where the classic texts will appear with the presenter's face on the screen that people can either watch live or take out of the archive or listen to the audio. But it's going to take me a few more months, so I'm actually ready to open up the doors to the new site. I hope it will be by October or November in Yud Hashem.
so may I then connect with it by that time also?
Well, yes, I mean, you're welcome to link to me now already because it's...
That I like to do.
Yes, for sure.
That's why I came to ask. So, because they like it.
It's obvious to me. I mean, my own attention is currently more on Africa through Facebook because I have hundreds of people in Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Namibia, and some other countries there who are just, you know, flocking to the Torah. And I'm talking about youngsters, you know, 17 and 18-year-olds. You know, you see these pictures of these sort of African street punks who are like wearing, you know, Magen David and saying Shalom and calling themselves biblical names, Yitro, Itiel, unbelievable. All over Africa, and wishing you Shabbat Shalom, and Shabbat Tov. Unbelievable.
I have someone in New York, but I forget his name. He said that they are from Judah, the original ones, and they think that Ashkenazi are non-Jews.
Well, there is this thing, there's this black Jewish supremacists. I know, in fact, I understand that the cousin of the American president now just became elected as the chief rabbi of there is a black Israel thing. I mean, for years in New York, Harlem, there was a black Jewish community, and there's a very anti-Jewish sort of black Israelite nucleus in several places in America. Well, I don't know who's right, who's wrong. I mean,
No, I don't like it, because
look, one thing
I feel it then also by myself. I am a Jew, so I don't like that they say, you are not a Jew.
I don't know how they can say such a thing. I mean, Judaism is not a race. We are a people who are united by one thing and only, and that is our devotion to the Torah of Hashem. People who accept the Torah of Hashem are Yisrael. People who do not accept it, or even one letter, are not Yisrael. Finish. Ruth, I mean, what did she do to become Jewish? She accepted the 630 commandments. She didn't have to have a certificate from the Beit Din. She kept the commandments.
Yes.
That's what I think is the key thing in our time, is to try to provide the bread and the wine for this hunger which is across the world. You